Hi all Inderes TV viewers. Today I'm here with our head of research Antti Viljakainen and we're going to discuss about Scanfil. So Antti, Scanfil reported its Q3 results last Friday. Could you tell us in a nutshell how their Q3 went?
Q3 was a good quarter for Scanfil. Comparable growth was something like 9%, which is more than Scanfil has done in the long run. EBIT margin reached 7%, which is their target level. So basically nobody would show any signs of disappointment if the company didn't raise expectations earlier this year with two positive profit warnings. Scanfil announced the third profit warning before the results, and it was negative. After this third profit warning, we lowered slightly our expectations for Q3, and these numbers were well in line with these lower expectations.
Okay, you covered already well that how the report affected our estimates.
Of course, forward-looking estimate changes were made also for next few years, but the company didn't say too much about the next year, so I kept mostly the estimates on the level where they were lowered after the profit warning.
Yeah. How about the situation in the contract manufacturers field? How did Scanfil do compared to its peers?
There are some deviations between companies. Incap is obviously struggling with its biggest customer inventory cycle, but Note and Kitron still reported quite good figures, which were quite in line with Scanfil's numbers. I think that the growth is slowing down in the sector overall, but the profitability outlook is still decent if the top line doesn't dip further.
Yeah. It seems like the uncertainties affect the sentiment in the market negatively, at least short term, but how about the long-term outlook? Is there still trust that the case is good in long term?
Yes, obviously long-term case didn't change too much. Green transition continues. Also, OEM companies outsource production more and more, and therefore I'm very confident that growth will continue in the long run in the sector. But of course, short term depends a lot on macroeconomic conditions in Europe and also globally. And also interest rates play some role in the sector as demand is mostly investment driven.
Yeah, that's true. Well, how about our valuation? How does it look for Scanfil at the moment?
I think that the valuation is from every perspective very decent. PE multiple is something like 11 for the next year with our relatively flat profit. Estimates EV/EBIT multiple is even single digit, as cash flow should be very good in short term as growth is slowing down and net working capital should release. These figures are well below Scanfil's 5-year median multiples. DCF model indicates fair value of some 9 to 10 euros per share. So there are some headroom if estimates were a bit too optimistic also for the next year. On the relative perspective, Scanfil is trading in line with peers, but I argue that the company deserves a slight premium given a strong track record and position in industrial segment, which is more profitable in the long run than some other segments.
Well, lastly, greetings to Kvalitetsaktiepodden podcast. I probably butchered that word, so apologies for that. But they recently did an episode where they discussed about Scanfil and also mentioned us, so thank you for that. So they were wondering that Scanfil has very little institutional ownership and most of the shareholders are Finnish private investors, and they felt that this is a little bit weird but also interesting. So what's your take on that matter?
Yes, that's very true. I think that the background of this shareholder structure derives from the company history. Scanfil is a family-owned company, and Takanen family, who started the business back then several decades ago, is still a major shareholder in the company. They own more than 50% of shares. Thus, free float is quite limited, and probably it has been too limited for bigger institutions to take positions in Scanfil. Well, of course, it depends a lot what Takanen family is going to do with their shareholdings if we get more free float, and maybe also institutional investors from Finland and internationally the company. But it would do good for Scanfil from a valuation perspective if free float was a bit bigger and liquidity better.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Antti, for the answers, and thank you, Inderes TV viewers. We will meet again in other videos.